Subscribe to Chicago Bears now. We'll get to your mailbag questions in just a moment. But to be a part of these mailbags, you got to subscribe. The latest news, rumors, these live mailbags are a part of our Tuesday live shows. If you don't want to miss any of it, subscribe, turn on notifications, and be a part of the movement here at Chicago Bears Now. Chris Techno leads things off. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Appreciate the super chat. What would the Bears do if, hypothetically, Dalton ends up having a Pro Bowl season next season? They'd say, hey, go sign elsewhere. We'll take the comp pick. Appreciate the season. Dalton's not coming. If he has a Pro Bowl year this year, he's going to want to go start somewhere because you don't trade up for Fields and sit him for multiple seasons. So Alex Smith took the Chiefs to the playoffs in 2017. Should have won a playoff game and was a fringe MVP candidate for a lot of that year. They still traded him. So, and he was under contract. Dalton's not under contract after this year. Dalton knows it's one and done in Chicago. Fofo plays, can you see Dalton and Foles being rotated during games if things don't go well? I don't think you keep Foles. I really don't. If Dalton struggles and they make a change, I think it's for Fields. Now, if it's week 1 or 2 and Dalton's a disaster and Foles is still on the roster and you still don't want to force Fields into play, maybe, but that's like the ultimate long shot scenario. Cordy Mack with the super chat, Fields should trademark Fields in the field. I don't really know what you mean there, but I like it, Cordy. Okay, man. Coach T, give Teven Jenkins a 4 to 6 week head start on Justin Fields. I mean, he's going to start from week 1, so there you go. Jenkins a plug-and-play starter. They're going to play him at left tackle, which I think can work. He's played more right tackle in college, but you're not going to groom Teven Jenkins. He will start week 1. Fernie, how good do you think Justin Fields will be in Chicago? Hall of Famer, legend, or bust? I mean, if you're asking me 6 months before his rookie season even starts, I guess 4 months, it's creeping up on us. We're already in May. I'll say he'll at least be a solid starter. Anything beyond that, anything less than that, it's all a guess, right? It's quarterbacks in the NFL. It could go a million ways. I think he'll be good, but I'm not going to declare him a Hall of Famer before he even takes a snap. Jimmy Stinks, are the Bears NFC North favorites if Aaron Rodgers gets traded? This is a good question because the drama is hot and heavy right now when it comes to Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. My take on this is if Rodgers gets traded, this division is wide open. The possibilities are endless because Aaron Rodgers has covered up for not some glaring weaknesses, but it's not like the Packers have had a super well-rounded roster his entire career there. He's just been spectacular. So if we see Jordan Love or if they go pick up someone else via the trade for Rodgers, I don't know who that would be, that changes everything. I think the Bears are in play with Dalton or Fields, quite frankly. I think their roster's pretty good. The Vikings, I think, will be better this year. They'll have the best veteran quarterback at that point in Kirk Cousins. If the point is, if Rodgers is out in Green Bay, this division could be won by anyone. Probably not Detroit, but the other 3 teams, anything is possible. If you are loving this Aaron Rodgers and Packers drama, type LOL in the chat. You guys have been waiting for this. I hope Brandy's watching live. I haven't seen her in the live chat today, but type LOL. You can finally laugh at the Packers. Guys, I'll be honest, based on the tea leaves, the reports, the rumors, I think he's going to be gone. I don't think he's going to be coming back to the Green Bay Packers. So go ahead and type LOL for me in the comment section. Next up is Jacob Cutler. Appreciate your work back in the day. I've been saying Pace is a good GM, and this draft proves it. Everyone that has been complaining about him 24/7 owes him an apology, including Harrison. Well, you haven't been watching my recent videos if you haven't heard what I've had to say about Pace recently. Put me full screen, Brett, and let me make this very, very clear, because I am a man of integrity, and I keep it real for you guys at all times. I told you guys after the season that Ryan Pace should have been fired. Why? Because he paid Mike Glennon $45 million. He traded up for Mitchell Trubisky when he didn't have to in a draft that included Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. And he gave a 4th-round pick for Nick Foles. He drafted Kevin White. He paid Robert Quinn $70 million, and he gave you 2 sacks last year. The guy has had some rough moments as the Bears GM. But guess what I did after they traded up for Justin Fields? Oh, and by the way, before they traded up for Justin Fields, I said, hey, Go get this guy. This will be a great move. And when they actually did it, what did I do, producer Brett? I praised Pace for about 10 minutes straight and said, this is an outstanding job. And I said that the Bears had the best draft of all 32 NFL teams. Guys, I'm fair. Like, if I think a coach or GM sucks, I'll tell you. If I think when they do good things, I'll tell you that as well. And that's what I've done with Ryan Pace. I have been very consistent. I even said earlier on our live show, I think him and Nagy should be safe through 2022. I'd say that's a big shift in direction based on what happened after the draft. So, hey, I appreciate it. If I hurt Ryan Pace's feelings, you know what? He's a millionaire. He's paid to make these decisions. Weeky, with winning the draft, did Pace by another year? Right on cue, Weeky. Appreciate the super. As of now, I'd say yes. If 21's an utter disaster, that can change. But I think when you trade up for a quarterback and you feel good about things, him and Nagy are probably going to be back through 2022. $10 super, develop a quarterback. They blew it with Mitch. No, he had limitations. Not an epileptic with the exact same. That's never been an issue with him playing on the field. Probs reading pre-snap defenses. Go watch Dan Orlovsky's tape. That's not true. Deja vu. Dalton getting Glennon. Fields boot out of. Okay, Dalton Glennon thing. Like, guys, Dalton's a fringe starter at this point. Like, he's not getting screwed over. They're paying him $10 million. Like, they overpaid for him, to be honest. If you're comparing Fields to Trubisky, one, that's just illogical. Fields has way more talent and much better tape than Mitch did coming out of college and won a lot more big games. And B, you traded up and got him at number 11, not number 2. Big difference. Jonah Gonzalez, when do you think Justin Fields will start? We'll go to this question, the live poll question for those of you watching live. We'll let you guys decide. If I had to guess, I would say in that week 6 through 12 chunk. Middle of the season, I think Dalton will start early on, and as long as the Bears are competitive and winning games, they're going to be patient with Fields. Now, you start 2-4, you start 1-5, something like that. That can change things very, very quickly. For those of you watching live still, 53% of you guys think it'll be weeks 1 through 6. So we'll see. 32% are in the chunk I'm in, 6 through 12. I would lean 6 through 12, but it's very possible that any of those options end up coming to fruition. Justin Fields jerseys, by the way, are available at chatsports.com/Fields1. Get one today because they're flying off the shelves. The shipping might be a little bit delayed because we're selling so many of these, but they're Nike authentic. We got all styles available, plenty of sizes, both adult and youth, and you'll get it in plenty time for the 2021 NFL season. You may not get it tomorrow, but you know, rookie picks, the jerseys, takes a little time to make them. Chatsports.com/Fields1. Go ahead and get a Justin Fields authentic NFL Nike jersey today. Astratone, is the Robbie Gould curse over? I mean, that was the best thing of last year, right? Cairo Santos, he was by far your most consistent player, so you never know what could happen, but hey, Santos was great. Martin Melhus in his presser, Fields referred to big games against the team up north, clearly referring to Michigan. Kind of like that he will have now that new team up north. Yeah, Packers. That's a good comparison there, Martin. Fields played his best in the bigger games. Even though Ohio State got wiped by Alabama in the national title, wasn't Fields' problem. He was hurt. He had broken ribs from the game against Clemson, which, by the way, he clearly outplayed Trevor Lawrence in. The guy's a gamer. He's tough as nails. If that was a normal game, he probably wouldn't have even played in the national title. But, yeah, Fields gets it. The Packers are going to be his big rival now. Elite Sports Production, Daz Newsome ahead or behind of Anthony Miller and Goodwin. TBD, I really hope we get some clarity on the Miller situation soon. I think the Bears just need to make a decision. If he's not part of the team, probably just cut him. You're not going to get much for him. Goodwin, he hadn't played in a year, so I think there's a decent chance that Daz could be ahead of him. Weeky, people saying Fields is bad, never watched him play college ball. He played lights out. In a couple of years, best QB in the North, will be a top 5 QB. Wait and see on what he'll be in the NFL, obviously a little bit, but dude, I don't know where this whole thing came from of Fields is clearly the top QB prospect after Trevor Lawrence to all of a sudden, oh, he's sliding down draft boards. Trey Lance is a better option, which, hey, I like Lance. I like Zach Wilson. Those are really good prospects, but I'm with you. His 2 seasons at Ohio State were phenomenal. I think we have the stats. He threw for like 63 touchdowns against less than 10 interceptions in 2 seasons in Columbus. I mean, Scrubs don't do this, guys. Like, he's statistically the best quarterback in the history of Ohio State. He's been phenomenal. Windy City Hawkey, report last week of the Bears possibly moving out to the suburbs to Arlington Heights. Do you think it's a possibility to try and do the move? I know there's been some controversy here. You know what, though? That's a money-making machine. If you build a new stadium out in the suburbs, there's more room. You can modernize the stadium. You can build a dome if you want to. I know a big part of Chicago football is it's cold and windy, and it makes it a tough environment on the road. But from an economical standpoint, building a new stadium is probably going to happen within the next decade in Chicago. So I don't have super strong opinions, but I understand why they would want to do it. I hope they would at least make it a roof that's, what do you call it when they can open or close it? A retractable roof, because I do like the weather impact in Chicago. But, yeah, I would say it's greater than 50% chance this happens in the next 10 years. Toos is the name. Do you think the Bears will try to get a receiver from Ohio State? Certainly. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson probably going to be first-round picks next year, but I don't know what's going to happen this time next year before next year's draft. Sure, but why not just focus on Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney? Those guys are pretty good. Taurean Whitfield, before the draft, I thought Bears go 7-10. After the draft, I think 9-8. What say you? If Dalton starts the entire season, you're hovering around 500. 2 games below, 2 games above. I think you're anywhere from 7 to 10 wins, 10 if everything goes right. You have a tough schedule, which, by the way, the NFL will announce the week-by-week schedule May 12th. Subscribe. We'll have that covered. I think you're around 500 if Dalton starts the whole season. If Fields comes in and plays well, you could be better. So I think you're in the proper range, Torian. Will the Bears make the playoffs? 9-8 is probably about the number you're going to need to get to, because 8-8 did it last year. 7 teams in each conference. 9 wins probably gets you to the playoffs. Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'll add this caveat. If Aaron Rodgers is gone, hey, you might win an extra game or two. Y for yes, N for no. Let me know if you guys think the Bears will make the playoffs. Michael, mixed and magnificent. Appreciate the super chat. Fields' progressions and pre-snap difficulties are all over every scouting report. You missed my point, though. They couldn't develop Mitch, but will JF. My point is that Fields has way more tools coming into the NFL than Mitch had. Mitch was literally an RPO one-read guy at North Carolina. Sure, has there been times on Fields' tape in college where he holds the ball on too long? Yes, but a lot of that is Fields likes to make the big play. He doesn't, and he'll have to learn that in the NFL. Sometimes just take the chuck down, dump it down to Cohen, dump it down to Montgomery. I think his yards per attempt last year was over 11 or something crazy, because he was looking to make the big play downfield because he trusted his receivers at Ohio State. So that's my take on it. He's not a perfect prospect. No one is. That includes Trevor Lawrence. We're running down on time on our Q&A, so if we missed your question, follow me on Twitter at HGramNFL. DMs are always open. I've caught up on almost everyone from the NFL draft. Send me a message there, follow me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. One more, bear down. I know I'm really behind, but is Allen Robinson staying this season? Unless the Bears trade him or rescind the tag, he will be in Chicago this year. He spoke with the media before the draft. Sounded like a guy who didn't really plan on holding out either. So, yeah, I fully expect him to be here. Now, maybe he skips some of the offseason stuff, but as long as he's there week 1, you know what he brings to the table. No real concerns for 2021. 2022 and beyond, we'll have to wait and see. Our largest audience ever outside of watch parties and the draft, of course, when Justin Fields got picked. Almost 800 live. I think we reached over 800 at one point. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll get that link in the chat. We're about to send this bad boy to loop in just a few moments, but live shows every Tuesday at 4 p.m. By the way, I'm going to shave live on air next week, the $100 super chat. Subscribe. Turn on that notification bell as well. After you hit the subscribe button, you click that bell and select all. You'll always get notified on your phone. They'll send you a notification when we go live or when we post a video. That way you never miss any of our shows here on the channel. Appreciate you guys subscribing if you haven't already.